Oh, hooked already, right? Ahead of the first episode tonight on Channel 5, Ross Kemp joins us now. It's always lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Lovely to see you guys as well.
So I'm going to attempt to set the scene here, but I need you to probably help me a little bit because it starts tonight, continues on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and it centres around this girl called Hannah. So she finds herself embroiled on the hunt for a killer. She works in a CCTV control centre, and what does she see or thinks she's seen?
Well, it starts a year before that where she witnesses something and goes very, very wrong for one of her friends. And then the same thing happens a year later when she's actually working in the monitoring part of the CCTV place. And that causes her to start an investigation. And that's where I come in because I'm the kind of old, seen it all, done it all, slightly kind of possibly corrupt police officer.
It's not that helpful to begin with.
He's very unhelpful, and in fact, you're not sure. And the way I played it, because I haven't acted in a long time, was that I played it that I didn't actually know whether I was good or bad up until the last episode.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, just like, honestly, literally looked at the lines, learnt them, forgot them, remembered them, and gone. Today I'm going to play it like I'm a good guy, and I make the half of the day like I'm a bad guy. And I loved it. Do you know what? I love being back on set. I got on really well. Hopefully, I got on very well with the cast. I love working with them. And it's very different from what I've been doing for the last 15 years.
Yes.
It's 15 years since you last acted.
Well, my wife might say different to that, but my kids might.
And she's probably right, you know.
Yeah, yes, true. But, well, maybe more than that.
Is that a conscious thing to stop acting and go down a different route? Or...
Just like I'm a freelancer, so you go where the work is, don't you?
You roll with
it. Yeah, you start getting known for something and more of that stuff comes in, hopefully. But, I love being back on set.
Nerve-wracking.
Very nerve-wracking, in a very different way from doing what I normally do.
Yeah.
Walking on set normally for me is getting in a car, starting it, looking at my cameraman, nodding to him, all of us with coffee in a vehicle in some strange part of the world, with the sound man Dave behind me, and that's it. Well, hopefully a director.
Yeah.
And you walk on set, there's 80 and 90. There was 200 people at one point. I was trying to work out what everybody did. So there's a different pressure.
Different world.
Different world.
Your dad was a police detective,
He was,
wasn't he?
for 30 years in the Metropolitan Police.
30 years. And he said something to you about the relationship between police and the public that you used for this, that you found helpful.
We all know at the moment that many constabularies are in special measures. I think the police are rightly being scrutinised at the moment because of the actions of a few. But my dad always said this, the police recruits from the public. So if you recruit from the public, you're going to get a rainbow of different types of people, but ultimately, the police have to abide by the law, and no one is above the law, particularly the police, and that was my dad's view.
Yeah, which is the
He sounds like a good man.
View,
Sounds like he's a good man. Talk to me about your acting. Have you changed as an actor over those 15 years away from it?
You change as a person, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I hadn't gone... Last time I started acting, I really hadn't been to Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, El Salvador, wherever. Hopefully, I haven't forgotten how to do it. I did train 3 years a long time ago at drama school.
When it gets to a dramatic bit, do you still hear the duff, 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 duff?
Duff duffs.
I wouldn't be able to switch it off.
Duff duffs, is that what you call them on the show?
Duff duffs. I call them duff duffs. Some of the people, there's another name for them. But yeah, you know what? You used to count how many duff duffs you got a year.
Yes.
You wanted to be the duff duff champion.
You were like, I won this year. I got the vote.
I think I won it. No, I love it.
There you go. You can add that one to the list.
Give us your best duff duff. Give us your best duff duff.
Look,
go on,
it's camera.
OK, go. Have you got a duff duff?
No, I don't.
Come on, do a duff duff.
Give us a duff duff.
Oh, yeah, you're in.
Oh.
That was a slightly panicked
All right,
duff duff.
OK, you ready?
Go, go, go.
Oh, you're going to turn in. What was that?
I mean, you'd come back next week for that, wouldn't you?
I would.
I think we need to work on that somewhat.
I'm glad we did that.
With the documentaries, and I know that you say that it was accidental and you fell into it. You did fall into it about 130 times. You made many, many.
That's a lot falling in, isn't it?
It is a lot falling in. I often watch you on it and I think, no one's as brave. Like, the acting must help when you're in that situation. Do you sort of almost play a role?
Well,
I don't know.
One of the things that my dad used to do, where you could never really lie to him, was that he'd leave the gap.
You'd what?
Like that, leave a gap. So,
Oh, I see.
You filled it.
To draw it.
You
I
just
did.
filled it,
I
didn't
fell
you?
into that gap.
You see, and that's what coppers do quite a lot. They leave a gap for you to fill.
Yeah.
When you're filling that gap, you're giving information. And I sometimes use that when I'm interviewing people, particularly, you know, gangsters and interesting people. Also, when I'm interviewing police officers sometimes. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell the difference in certain parts of the world. So, yeah, I use some of the kind of tactics that my dad did. I made a programme about armed policing in the West Midlands before lockdown. And I met a police officer there, a detective called Al, and he knows he's watching. His mum's definitely watching, as is mine. I rang him up quite a lot when I was researching Tony and working out how Tony would behave and what was the right procedure, particularly with radios, and when you arrest people and how you proceed when you're following someone and don't want to be found.
To make it as real as possible.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. One time, I'm actually making a documentary, and it's very real. Going back to acting, was trying to make something that is false, very
Look as real as possible.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, is the answer to your question, a long way around about it, but I'm hoping that after 15 years, I've improved, like a fine wine.
Well, we'll find out tonight.
And maybe I haven't. Maybe I'll just be a wet cup of tea.
Go on, sorry.
There's this one story I really want to hear about, though, because obviously you've had some amazing adventures and terrifying adventures too, but the situation in Somalia is just... Have you heard this story? It's just such a great story. Tell us what happened.
Went to Somalia, actually I flew into Djibouti, got a boat around into Somalia, because it's quite a dangerous place, at the time it was, to meet a Somalian pirate. Met the pirate, but my translator had been chewing cat all day, which is a stimulant, and bear in mind, it was 8 o'clock in the morning he started chewing it, and we got to the interview about 11 o'clock. It was still quite hot on this beach. Interview the pirate, asking about how he steals ships, get all the answers back, get back into the edit, and he's talking about his holidays, where he takes his camels for his holidays, how much money he's got and how many wives he's got. So guess where I was 2 weeks later?
You had to go back.
Back on a flight to Djibouti.
With a different translator,
With a very different translator,
bet.
and no cat.
Unbelievably, and again, your career is taking you to some incredible, very dangerous, but amazing places. A place you did get invited to go, because you were considering making a documentary to mark the 110th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic, and you were actually invited to go on the OceanGate submersible.
I was, yeah.
So watching what we now know has happened over the last couple of weeks, it must have been a quite strange experience for you.
I just think, you know, at any one time, there are different documentaries that one could be making, and that is true. I was invited, and we had dialogue with the company in order for me to go down actually this summer. But it was decided by other people, not me, that it wasn't the right thing to do. But, you know,
Did you want to do it?
Of course I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I love diving. I'm an HSC qualified diver, and I'm fascinated by the sea, and I'm fascinated by wrecks. However, right now, all you care about are the families.
Yeah.
Did they see something in it that they just...
It wasn't, honestly,
no, there was nothing.
It wasn't my decision. You know,
Right,
I'm not... I'm not expert enough to know whether that was the right sub or not.
So the series starts tonight. You've also got Bridge of Lies, which I think is returning for a third series later on in the year.
Mixing it up a bit.
You are mixing it up, but not giving up on the documentary stuff. When the right thing comes, you'll be off doing...
I will.
Doing
Certainly,
bits and
I love it.
bobs.
I enjoy it.
And he used to play rugby for Saracens, which I didn't know. We were sharing stories.
Very long time ago, yeah.
I was doing the holiday programme, and we were doing these TV shows. You play matches, and guys be thumping you in the face, and you go...
Because they knew...
Yeah, because they wanted to see the black eye on telly. Did you get that?
Score points against Grant Mitchell.
Oh, no.
Yes.
You must have been a real target.
Yeah, actually, they used to get my hair. I used to get makeup early on a Monday morning to cover up the lines.
On the hair.
Scratches, yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for coming in. Blindspot starts tonight on Channel 5 at 9 p.m. and it's on for the next 4 nights as well. Thank you.
Great to see you.
very
Great chatting.
Right.